Hey everyone, welcome back to Clues by Sam. I'm still sick today, so maybe we're gonna have a hard time with this, especially because it's an evil one, which I'm very excited for. Well, if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it's a daily logic puzzle game where you have 20 people. Some of them may be criminals, the other ones may be innocents, and they give you clues to help you figure out who is a criminal and who is an innocent. And you gotta do no guessing. The difficulty changes every day. And today we have this one. If you wanna play the game, you can check the link in the description. And if you wanna just go along with me, we're gonna start right now. Okay, so first of all, we have Isaac telling us that Karen is one of two innocents below Gary. Well, Karen, we know, is an innocent. Gary has two people who are innocents below him and three total. So either Paula or William are gonna be the other innocent here. And now we know that Karen tells us that Juliet is one of three criminals between Amy and Tyler. So Juliet is a criminal. Amy and Tyler are here, and they have three people between them total. So we know that all of them have to be criminals. And we don't need Karen's clue anymore. Now, Frank tells us that Tyler and Zoe have an equal number of criminal neighbors. Zoe has 3 neighbors total. Tyler has 3 neighbors total. And we know the total for Tyler. We know that he has 2 criminals and 1 innocent, because there's gonna be 1 innocent and a criminal here. And Ophelia is for sure a criminal. But we still don't know who is who, especially for Zoe, so let's leave that clue there. Now, Juliet tells us there are more criminals than innocents to the right of Amy. So we know there has to be 2 criminals at least. But we may have all of these people be criminals because 3 is more than 0. So we don't know yet. And Ophelia tells us that exactly 2 of Larry's 5 innocent neighbors also neighbor Xavi. Okay, so Larry has 5 innocent neighbors. 2 of them are shared with Xavi. And the thing is, whatever Paula is gonna be one of both innocents. Or is that it? I guess it doesn't matter actually. Because we know that between Larry and Xavi, they share 3 neighbors total. 2 of them are innocent. The other one is gonna be a criminal. If Paula is a criminal, that doesn't work because both Romeo and Scott would have to be innocents, and Zoe can only have 1 innocent neighbor. So we know for sure that Paula is an innocent and William is a criminal. And we know that this is gonna be a one or the other situation, Romeo and Scott, because Xavi can only share 2 innocent neighbors with Larry, so there can only be 1 more innocent here. And Zoe also can only have 1 innocent neighbor, so we know that Xavi is a criminal. Now, we know about 4 of Larry's 5 innocent neighbors. There's 3 here, Isaac, Karen, and Paula. There's gonna be 1 more who's either gonna be Romeo or Scott. So there's 1 more innocent that we haven't found yet. Now, what does Paula tell us? William and Emily have an equal number of innocent neighbors. Well, Emily is up here and William is down here. Emily has 3 neighbors total. She might have 3 innocent neighbors. In that case, both of the remaining neighbors for William would have to be innocents. But we could have two criminals here, and then William would have to have one more criminal, so we don't know yet. What other new clue did we get? Williams? Amy has more criminal neighbors than Isaac. There's a lot of clues that I haven't dismissed yet, so let's try to go through all of them again. Tyler and Zoe have an equal number of criminal neighbors. Yeah, we're already on to that. There are more criminals than innocents to the right of Amy. So there has to be at least two criminals here. Let's not forget about that. Ophelia tells us that exactly 2 of Larry's 5 innocent neighbors also neighbors Abby. So 2 of Larry's 5 innocent neighbors are here. We have one more to find out. So it could be Gary, and then there will be 2 criminals here. And William and Emily have an equal number of innocent neighbors. Okay, that's a lot. We don't need Isaac's clue anymore. That one we can dismiss. Amy has more criminal neighbors than Isaac. Let's think about... I think I'm gonna do a lot of tagging. Larry has to have 3 criminal neighbors. And there's 2 more criminal neighbors that we have to find out. So let's say they are Gary and Hamlet. If sorry, I gotta stop this. My dog. Okay, I'm back. So we have, let's say that these 2 are criminals. In this case, what do we know about Amy and Isaac? Amy has more criminal neighbors than Isaac. Well, in this case, Macbeth will be an innocent. But there's no way for Isaac. If Amy has 3 criminal neighbors, could Isaac have less than 3? He could if he had these 2 big criminals and Emily, for example, being innocent. In this situation, Larry would be an innocent. Romeo would have to be an innocent because William and Emily have an equal number of innocent neighbors. Oh, they have an equal number of innocent neighbors, not criminal ones. So Romeo would have to be a criminal. And Tyler as well. Now Scott would have to be an innocent. So that works. Isaac has less criminal neighbors than Amy, which is what we want. By William's school. William and Emily have an equal number of innocent neighbors, which is 1. There are more criminals than innocents to the right of Amy. Now we know that Tyler and Zoe have an equal number of criminal neighbors, so we don't need that clue. Oh, I guess I'm gonna leave it there because I may forget that this is a one or the other. And exactly 2 of Larry's 5 innocent neighbors also neighbors Xavier. Oh, so that's cool. Helps. So helps us not need Frank's clue. Does Larry have 5 innocent neighbors? 4 here and 5 with Isaac. So all of this works. What else can we do? Who are we excluding in this situation? Who do we have to look at? I guess Emily. Who is mentioned in more than one clue here? Amy is mentioned in 2 clues. And just Amy? William and Emily. Amy and Isaac. Xavier and Larry. Just Amy. So let's look at Amy's neighbors. Let's try to make Gary an innocent. In this situation, if Gary were to be an innocent, Macbeth would have to be a criminal. But now Isaac can only have 1 criminal neighbor at most. And Larry has to have 3 criminal neighbors. There's no way for Larry to have 3 criminal neighbors, especially if he doesn't share any criminal ones with Isaac. So Gary couldn't be an innocent. Because Larry has to have 3 criminal neighbors. Where will they go? He's gonna share at least one of them with Isaac. Yeah, Gary couldn't be a criminal. Couldn't be an innocent, sorry. So Gary is for sure a criminal. Now we know that Amy has 2 criminal neighbors. Let's clear the tags and start again. This is gonna be a one or the other situation as well, Hamlet and Macbeth. So Isaac's gonna have 1 criminal neighbor here. He couldn't have 2 innocent neighbors up here, because that would break Juliet's clue telling us that there are more criminals than innocents to the right of Amy. Because if both of these people were innocents, that would make it so there's more innocents than criminals to the right of Amy. So Isaac's gonna have to have at least 1 more criminal neighbor here, and it can be both of them, because if both of them are criminal, then there's no way for Amy to have more criminal neighbors than him. So we know that one or the other here is gonna be a criminal and the other one an innocent. And Ben can be a criminal, or rather, he has to be a criminal. And since Isaac cannot have any more criminal neighbors, Larry has to be an innocent. Now, Larry tells us that column D is the only column with exactly 3 innocents. Okay, so what does that tell us? Oh, this is a lot. But the only other column that could have 3 innocents is column C. Let me think about this. Let's say that Romeo is an innocent and Scott is a criminal. Okay, that tags. Now let's say that Dennis is an innocent, Dennis is a criminal and Emily is an innocent. Now either Macbeth or Zoe are gonna have to be a criminal, so that we have 3 innocents. Emily, Isaac, and either Macbeth or Zoe. Could Macbeth be our third innocent and Hamlet a criminal? That works, because now column C has 3 innocents and Zoe a criminal. What else? What else do we check? Can we check that there couldn't be 2 innocents in here, but it could be 3, because the clue is telling us that column D is the only column with exactly 3 innocents, but that could mean that column C has 4 innocents. What if all of these people are innocents? Then it's Hamlet and Romeo. Now column C has 4 innocents. Now both Scott and Macbeth are criminals. Emily is an innocent, and Zoe is an innocent, and that makes column 3 have 3 innocents. So that tracks. That could work fine. Oh, this doesn't work. Emily has to be a criminal. And now there's no way for column D to have 3 innocents. So column C can't have 4 innocents. That's one thing that we figured out. So if column D can't have 4 criminals, it can only have 2. And if that's the case, who are the 2 innocents in here? Because they can't all be criminals. Let's try to invert the situation. They can't all be criminals, because that will make column D have more than 3 innocents. So we would have to have 2 criminals here and 1 criminal in column D. What other clue helps us here? William and Emily having an equal number of innocent neighbors. Does that help us? If this is the scenario, Emily has, is it innocence? Emily has 2 innocent neighbors. William could have 2 innocent neighbors if Tyler isn't innocent. If the scenario is this, that doesn't work. Even though now column D has 3 innocents, column C has 2, which is fine. Now William has 2 innocent neighbors. But he could have Romeo be a criminal as well. No, he couldn't. He couldn't. So that doesn't work. We also know that Amy has more criminal neighbors than Isaac. That's okay. That's gonna happen either way. So we don't need this clue anymore. This clue anymore. So let's focus on William and Emily having an equal number of innocent neighbors. And how we can make that work. Not this way, because now Emily has only 1 innocent neighbor. If this was the case, could that be? It could. Because William has 2 innocent neighbors. Emily has 2. If Tyler is a criminal, that works. If Emily were a criminal, this could work as well. Oh no, it couldn't. Or could it? It could if Zoe were an innocent. No, it couldn't. Because even if Zoe is an innocent, there's not 3 innocents in column D. So Emily could not be a criminal in any way. Or could she be a criminal if Hamlet were a criminal and Macbeth an innocent? Now she has 2 innocent neighbors. William could have 2 innocent neighbors if Tyler were a criminal. And with Zoe, column D has 3 innocent neighbors. Are we looking at Zoe always being an innocent? Is that what we're saying? Is there a situation where Romeo is a criminal? Now William has only 1 criminal neighbor. 1 innocent neighbor, sorry. Emily has 1 innocent neighbor here. Let's say Macbeth is an innocent and Hamlet is a criminal. Now we have 3 innocents in column D, so Emily has to be a criminal and then is an innocent. William could have 2 innocent neighbors, and Zoe could be a criminal. So that's fine. So Romeo, I guess we started with Romeo, so we know that Romeo could be a criminal. And Zoe also could be a criminal. That would work. Let's try to make Tyler a criminal. If Tyler is a criminal, William can have at most 2 innocent neighbors. If Emily had Hamlet as an innocent neighbor and William had Romeo as an innocent neighbor, Scott and Macbeth would be both criminals, and Emily would be an innocent herself, and Zoe would be an innocent. Dennis would be then a criminal, and that works as well. Oh, that breaks. That breaks because now, although column D has 3 innocent neighbors, column C also has 3 innocent people, not neighbors. So that breaks if Tyler is a criminal. Unless Romeo is a criminal as well. Can Romeo be a criminal and now William only has 1 innocent neighbor? No, that would make it so that Hamlet and Macbeth had to be switched. And now column D has too many innocents. All of them are innocents, in fact. So I guess Tyler couldn't be a criminal. Nice. I'm doing great. I'm feeling like I'm doing great. I'm happy about it. Now Tyler tells us that an odd number of innocents on the edges neighbor Isaac. Okay, Isaac has 3 neighbors on the edges. We know that one of them is gonna be an innocent here, and the other one's gonna be a criminal. The other neighbor that he has on the edge is Macbeth. So if Macbeth were to be an innocent, we would have 2 innocents neighboring Isaac on the edges, and that's an even number. So Macbeth is a criminal. And because of that, Hamlet is an innocent. And we don't need Tyler's crew anymore. Now Hamlet tells us there's an equal number of innocents in rows 1 and 4. That's interesting. Because there's gonna be an innocent here. And if that innocent is Emily, I guess that just tells us that Zoe is whatever Amy is. If Zoe is a criminal, Amy is a criminal, and both rows have the same number. Oh, I'm looking at row 5. Looking at the wrong row. Okay, there's an equal number of innocents in rows 4 and 1. And we know how many innocents are gonna be in row 4. It's 2. Because there's 1 here and it's gonna be 1 more here who's either gonna be Romeo or Scott. So that's 2, which means there's gotta be 2 innocents in row 1, and one of them is gonna be either Emily or Dennis. So Amy has to be an innocent as well. Nice. We don't need Hamlet's clue anymore. Now what do we go back to? We go back to the one or the other situation here. These 2 cannot be both innocents. So if one is an innocent, the other one is a criminal. Oh, that's a lie. because if this is a one or the other situation, column C would have 3 innocents. So I guess they're the same. Whatever one is, the other one is. So if Dennis is a criminal and Emily an innocent, Romeo has to be a criminal and Scott an innocent. But what if it's the opposite? If Romeo is an innocent and Scott a criminal, and Dennis is an innocent and Emily a criminal, now there's no way for column D to have 3 innocents, because there's only Isaac and Zoe who could be innocents. So these two are criminals, and these two are innocents, and then we know that Zoe is a criminal. I am so happy that I got an evil one, all green, while being sick. So sorry for my voice. And that was fun. The theme was Shakespeare, right? That was really nice. I'm sorry I did it late again, everybody. As you can see, I'm not doing really well, but I wanted to do this all the same. And thank you so much for watching. Let me know how you did, if you did the puzzle, and if I helped you in any way. I hope I was clear enough with my explanation, and I'll be back tomorrow with more Clues by Sam. So subscribe if you want to see that, and I'll see you then.